Good day, my friends. My name is Kurt Coetzee. I'm the founder of the Wealth Masters Club, one of the biggest investor clubs in the world. And today I have a very important guest here. He is an important man, yes, but it's actually more about his knowledge. That is the important stuff. And that's what we want to tap into today. So I want to welcome Johannes Maria. Johannes is the Chief Executive Officer of the Destinata Group of Companies and the Chief Executive Officer of one of the affiliates of that company, or the group of companies, and that is Destinata Capital Limited, a public company. Johannes, welcome here.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, yeah, so my profession is I'm an accountant. That's my background. I'm a chartered accountant.
Chartered accountant.
Yes, correct. And I also come from a property background. I'm a PPRE, so a professional practitioner in real estate.
Oh, yeah.
Basically what that means, I'm a estate agent principal.
Yeah.
Come from the Western Cape, grew up there, did my articles in Stellenbosch at a medium-sized firm there, studied at Stellenbosch University, and then I've walked quite a road in financial management and audit management before I met with you and with your previous CEO, Reino Venter, who's a good friend of mine, and that's how I got involved.
Johannes, thank you very much. Okay, guys, as you can hear, he's got all the qualifications, but I would like to actually know more about his product. Johannes, tell us more about this fantastic 12J that everybody is talking about. What is this 12J fund?
So I think the best way to explain it, let's start right at the beginning. So in 2009, SARS and Treasury wanted to incentivize South African taxpayers to invest into our own economy.
Yes.
It's a model that's been tried and tested before in the UK, and it was found to work quite well because it did lead to a lot of new businesses being created, and out of those came a lot of successful businesses.
Yeah.
Around about 2015, because the rules and regulations were quite stringent, that didn't make it too attractive. And then around about 2015, especially 2016, the industry really started picking up. So in essence, in a nutshell, how it works, the incentive works as follows. SARS gives you a 100% tax deduction for an investment made into such a fund.
Let's start, sorry to interrupt you, let's take, because I have two examples that I would like to go into. So tell us how it worked with a company making a profit. Give us that.
Okay. So it'll be the same for a company making a profit, or if it's an individual that's a provisional taxpayer that will, or a trust or something like that, it'll be the same.
Any business entity, in other words.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So and like an individual who's got rental properties and that kind of thing, if he does have them in his personal capacity, some do, even though it's not necessarily the best thing. So for that taxpayer, what he'll do, you'll have your provisional 1 and your provisional 2 tax payments. So the first one typically in August, and then the second one in February of the tax year. So essentially you make your investment with pre-tax cash.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I explain that, what I would normally do, let's say I made R1 million worth of profit for the year. On my provisional estimate that I submit to SARS, I would submit my calculation that comes to an estimate of R1 million, typically. Now, if I took that R1 million and I invested it into a tax-deductible vehicle like Section 12J, that would reduce my taxable income to zero.
But wait. The ordinary way, the normal way, is when a person makes in his business R1 million of profit, they will normally, in their provisional tax returns, they will start paying up to 45% tax on that R1 million.
Just
before
45% and a business 28%, but also then another 20% on the dividends that you pay out. Yeah.
Right. So that is the conventional way. That is how most people do it. And but since 12J was, how long ago was 12J implemented?
It began in 2009, but it didn't really find traction. It only started really in 2015.
So tell us now how it is now with a 12J fund. That same million, what will happen?
So if this business owner took R1 million and he invested into a Section 12J company or fund, he would claim that R1 million tax deduction off of the estimate that he submits to SARS. So you will then submit a zero estimate to SARS. So
Okay.
you won't pay. You won't be in a tax-paying position,
Yeah.
for example. Yeah.
So you can submit in your provisional tax return, you can give an estimate of 0 profit for that year, although last year you made R1 million profit. And now you make an estimate of a 0. Why would SARS accept that now all of a sudden? Won't they query that?
I think the chances are good that they will query it, especially if you have quite a long track record of being profitable.
Yeah.
But the process is then you just supply them with the Section 12J tax certificate that the fund issues you. That's your proof.
That's important. That is a very important thing that you're mentioning now. Because you see, for me, it's a pain, that provisional tax returns that we have to submit. And if it is less than the previous profit of the previous year, then SARS always wants to know why is it? What is wrong with your business? So now we just submit that certificate. So when you invest something with the 12J, you get the certificate and you just submit it with your tax return. I love it. Okay, right.
Yeah, it's quite handy. Yeah.
Okay, and then tell us then you invested R1 million now with the 12J. So end of the year then you pay 0 tax on it.
That's
on your
correct,
profit. Yeah. The 1 million is invested, but there's then no tax on the profit that you made in your company.
Correct.
So actually, we made that investment with SARS's money.
They subsidized a nice portion of it, yeah.
Wow. In the old days, we invested after tax money. Now we invest pre-tax money. It's actually a big portion of that. It can be as high as 45%. It is the same as what your tax rate is, the company's tax rate or your tax rate. That 45% is actually coming from SARS. But the return on it is in our pocket, not in SARS's pocket.
Correct.
I love it. So you can nearly double any return on that you would have made on any investment.
Yeah, so I mean, if I take an example there, let's say you made a 10% return in a year. Then you must bear in mind, for every 100 Rand that I invested, my actual cost was only 55 Rand if I'm an individual in the 45% tax bracket.
Yeah.
So I didn't earn 10 Rand on 100 Rand. I earned 10 Rand on 55. So that's essentially like a 18% return and not a 10% return.
Yeah, that is without 12J. With 12J, it is 10% on 100.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer, as they say. Okay, that is business income. What about ordinary employees paying pay-as-you-earn every month that their employers are forced to deduct and pay over to SARS every month? Is there any way that they can get that tax also reduced with the 12J?
Yes, they can. The process is a little bit different. Your employer is required by law to deduct your pay-as-you-earn amount every month and pay that over. But what would typically happen is you as the taxpayer, when you make your tax investment, you also receive the Section 12J certificate. When you do your assessment for the year, now typically your tax season opens about July. When you do your assessment, you claim that tax deduction. So you're in a position now where that tax deduction was not taken into account when your pay-as-you-earn was calculated. So you've essentially overpaid SARS during the year. And SARS then has to repay you or refund you everything that you've paid in excess. So I've done it before on pay-as-you-earn that I've paid, for example. It's quite a seamless process. Submit my return, get the cash back.
And since 12J is a SARS product, if I can call that, there's no problem with claiming or getting the benefits from them and so on. No feet dragging or something like that.
I haven't experienced it. There's a specific block on your tax return that because they tailor make the Section 12J. The assessments, the tax assessments nowadays. There's a block that asks the question. That same part where it asks you how many vehicles did you have and whatnot. There's a block that asks, did you make any Section 12J investments during the year? You tick yes. They ask you how much, and it's brought into the calculation automatically.
Guys, this is very important. So it's not a matter of whether SARS will recognize this 12J investment. It is their product. It is already recognized. Honestly, there's one thing that is a concern for me. When a business invests R1 million profit, we can stick to R1 million profit. If the business invested in a 12J, or if an employee earning R1 million a year invests R1 million into a 12J. That million that is supposed to be invested to make the profits or the salary tax-free, that million is actually used at the moment to run the business or to pay for living expenses. So where is the million that we have to invest in 12J then actually coming from?
Yeah, so there's a couple of options. I mean, the easy answer is that you must have reserves. If you take, I mean, what I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it myself this year, for example. I've got an access bond on one of my properties where I'm pulling some cash out of it and putting it into a 12J because I know that's a immediate guaranteed return that I get there. So that's one option.
But would it be worthwhile to take money out of a bond, an access bond and a mortgage, and put it in a 12J? Is it worthwhile? What about the interest? Will interest not?
Yeah, so the way I see it, and it's not financial advice to anybody, but this is my personal view on it and what I do personally. So at the moment, we're sitting with Prime on 7%. So let's say that cost of capital is 7% for me. If I fall in the top tax bracket, for example, and I put that into a Section 12J investment, I immediately get 45% on it. So it's a low cost of capital for the return that I get, in my opinion.
Yes. So there's actually a profit on the interest that you pay on that money. You pay like, say, for example, 15 or 17% or whatever the interest on that mortgage is, but you are making immediately up to a 45%. What you make is actually the same as what your tax rate would have been. So if you're with $1 million, your tax will be 45%, your tax rate. So it is a 45% in for a 17% out. It's a no-brainer. Johannes, I know there's a lot more that we can talk about. And I think there's a lot more that the viewers would like to know about this product. And guys, one thing that I can emphasize here is there's not one shoe fits all situation. Each and every one of us have a different situation. It might be easy for some, it might be less easy for others, but it is always more or less easy. Point is, it's very important, is there's a way to reduce your tax big time. And I think it is the duty of every South African, and I know this is very controversial what I say now, but it is our duty to save tax where we can, so that we can plow it back into our businesses, so that we can create jobs, so that we can create more businesses. That is how I see the economy will grow. Economy will not grow if you just give all the money to the state. The state is not the best business people. That is why they are politicians. All respect, Mr. President, but I think it is the better way to grow South Africa's economy is with this SARS-approved vehicle. Thank you very much. Do you have something else?
Yeah, just I think just to add to that, I think it was I think government actually acknowledged that fact that the private sector is better at creating businesses than the public sector, and that's why they've given us as the taxpayers that incentive. Because
so it's actually an incentive. This is very important what Johannes is saying.
This
is incentive from government because SARS is controlled by government. Okay, carry on.
Because the key is the value creation, and that's what government wants us to do as well with this. Is for all effective purposes with the subsidy that they are giving us. Yeah. They are hoping that the next Google or the next Apple is going to come out of this regime.
Okay. Johannes, thank you. It was very interesting. Guys, if you are interested to know more about this product, there will be a link here up above the video or below the video. Wherever you watch this video, take a look at the link. You click on that link and register your interest, then we will contact you, set up consultation. Consultation is free of charge, and then we can talk about your situation, because your situation is what this is about. And as I said, it might differ from person to person. So before you pay a cent more tax, get this information first. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Johannes.
Thanks, good.